everyone. I hope you guys are having a great day. I want to come to you guys and share an incredible story of a friend I met back in January. She lives in Ontario, and her name is Sarah, and we have the mutual um, uh, thing of being a teacher, which is incredibly great. And I think we are live. I want to make sure that we are going live here on Facebook. And you know what, Sarah, I don't see it on my side, but we're going to go with it anyway. Yes, we are there. Yay. So Sarah is coming in from Ontario, and she has just an incredible journey. I hope that you guys have seen her before and after pictures in my stories. And I want to make sure that I will drop those in there after we're finished here, because they are absolutely amazing. Sarah has had a crazy ride over the years, and just the last couple months have absolutely changed her life. Mm-hmm. So share a little bit about that, Sarah.
Yeah, so thank you so much for having me on. I'm super happy to be with all of you today. So yes, okay, where to start? Oh my gosh. So first of all, that before and after picture, I don't know why I don't share it as much as I don't share it. I don't know why. And I should, because it's funny, because whenever I sent it to you and you said, whoa, that's a huge transformation, that's an amazing transformation, I just said, oh, like, I don't know, it never dawned on me that, because we see so many before and after pictures online that sometimes I wonder if I should even share it. But it's pretty incredible to think about the journey that's happened since then. So to give you a little bit of an idea, I used to be very much a yo-yo dieter. So I would literally go ahead and gain a lot of weight, eat all of my emotions away. I was an emotional eater. And also I would eat because I was tired. So basically I would go ahead, I would gain a lot of weight. I would get into this like negative self-talk, kind of like you're big, saying all of the negative things that you could imagine. I would say to myself, and then go, I need to lose weight. I need to lose weight. And then go into this crazy restrictive dieting.
And if you've been doing that and you have been on a yo-yo diet, let us know there, because, we know that we're not the only ones that have done this. Mm-hmm. And we have so many people hopping on, Sarah, and this is incredible. And I just, your story, and when I met you in Orlando, was just absolutely amazing. And you guys let us know your questions. And if we can't respond to them as we're doing it, we'll hop back on and answer them as afterwards.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
Thanks, Sarah.
Yeah, you're welcome. Hey, Stormy. Okay, so basically I would go ahead and I would get into this very negative self-talk, like you need to lose weight.
Have a great day.
All of those things. And then I would end up going on this crazy restrictive diet. I've tried everything: keto, I've tried paleo diet, I've tried, all kinds of Weight Watchers. I've been on all of those things, like Slim Fast, like remember that? I did all of the things, like seriously, my entire life since I've probably been, in my teens. It's been like this. Okay, so gain weight, think I need to lose. And then go on this crazy diet, lose some weight, have some success, but then not be able to keep up with it. Mm-hmm. And then one day I would just lose track. I would start binge eating, and I would gain all the weight back in a month, maybe 2 months. Sometimes it would last a little bit longer. I would be able to go maybe like 6 months without gaining back some, like, too much weight. It would be a little bit, it would be progressive, but it would always come back. Always. Mm-hmm. I was miserable, right? I was miserable as I was restricting. I was miserable whenever I was eating. I was miserable all the time, okay? Now, when I started on the 3-step supplement routine, I was in a spot in my life where things were very dark. I have an incredible person in my life who I love, and he loved me through all of that, okay? And I might get emotional because the fact that he loved me through all of those things, means a lot. I'm going to take a second. But basically,
you take a second. These things that change our lives are absolutely incredible. And to have somebody there to support us, it makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
So, the emotions are awesome. It's real.
Yeah. So anyways, he was there for me through all that time. And at that point where I started these 3-step nutritional system, it seemed so small. It seemed like such a thing where, and I talk to people who are so skeptical like I was. I get it. I get it. But because I've been there, I've tried all the things, right? That would get my hopes up, and then they would just crash and burn, right? So anyways, I was in a spot in my life where literally yo-yo dieting, losing weight, gaining it back all of the time. And I was also in a spot in my life where I felt very burnt out. I felt exhausted. I didn't feel like myself. I would get home and I couldn't give the best of who I was to the one person that means the world to me. So it was very tough. It was a tough situation to deal with because I would give my all to my students because as a teacher, that's what you do. And so, and even at work, I couldn't even be the best version of myself there because I would just get there and be so sluggish, so tired. I would have my coffee every morning, and although I know that, they say there's benefits to coffee, I'm telling you, a year without coffee, I feel amazing. There's nothing compared to how I feel now compared to then, you know what I mean? I will never go back to that ever.
Amazing. Yeah.
Right? So anyway, so I would have that coffee every single morning that I literally needed in order to wake up, in order to be there, in order to function. You couldn't talk to me before I got my coffee in.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would get to work, and then I would do my day and give my best and give my all. And sometimes I didn't feel like it was enough. And some students would come to me. They would ask me questions, and I literally would have to take 10 seconds to sit there and really think about what they just asked me. And then after that, think of another 10 seconds in order to bring a correct response to them. And that was correct, that was on point, and all of that thing, because I felt so tired. I felt so sluggish. I had this mental fog that was constantly following me. And it was kind of imagine this veil around you. And that's how I felt about life. It was kind of like trying to walk through a sea of molasses. That's what I describe it as. It was every single thing was hard. Getting off the couch to do the dishes was hard. Trying to make my lunches was hard. Getting up in the morning was hard. Snooze button 5 times. Okay, my fiance would sit there and just say, "Can you get up already? Because I have an extra 30 minutes to sleep and you're literally waking me up every 5 minutes. Can you please just get up?" I remember we argued about that. And it's not because and bless him, because seriously, he went through all of this. He's still stuck with me. And it was things like that. And on the weekends, I couldn't do anything fun. Going to see my family took energy out of me that I literally felt I needed in order to be able to make it through a week. Think about, working out after work. Are you kidding me? Never. I didn't have the energy to do that. I would say, I need to. I will have more energy if I work out. But I didn't have the energy to get there. Do you know what I mean? I didn't have I didn't even have, and people say you need willpower. You need to keep going. You need to remember what your end goal is. And I remembered it, but I just couldn't. I just felt like I couldn't. And so I couldn't give my all to my work. I couldn't give my all to the people that I loved. I was disappointing myself in so many ways. I was yo-yo dieting. I was all over the place. And I was at a point in my life where things were dark. It was dark. And so these 3 steps came at a point where I needed to wake up. I needed something. And so I incorporated them into my everyday. And within the first week, I started to feel a difference. And people say, oh, like what? Like it's impossible that you feel a difference within a week of taking something. I'm telling you, it's crazy. Most
Hey,
people feel,
Sarah, we have so many people joining us, guys. If y'all are loving this story, I know I am. Every time I hear it, it's just a little bit different, Sarah, and I love it because you share so much and you share it from the heart. Let people know and share us out. I would love to know where you guys are coming in from. And this is crazy because here I am in South Carolina and you're in Canada, and we can connect on social media and do this and share out how the simple thing has changed our lives so incredibly, immense. I mean, the change is crazy, and I can't wait till I can drop those pictures of you.
Yeah, so I will speak to that though before I move on to like the difference after I started taking the 3 steps. So that first picture that you'll see on the left, that is a picture of me in 2018 when we went on a trip, me and my fiance. I think it was 2018. And so it was a summer trip. It was down south. And I remember taking that picture, and I was crouching down because I was trying to hide my stomach. And when I saw the picture, I was so disgusted. I remember feeling that disgust, and I know that's horrible, but that's how I felt in that moment of seeing that picture and just saying, I don't want to see that picture ever. And I hid it, and I put it in an envelope where I put it in things, because the only reason why I wanted to keep it was the fact that I wanted to remember that trip with him. And so I put it away, so I didn't see it. And so that's something that when I found it again, I just couldn't believe it, because you see the difference not only in my body, right, but you see the difference in my face, in my skin, in my hair. And yes, it's a different color, but you see it. You see a difference. Mm-hmm. It looks healthier. And you see a difference in just like every aspect, like the way, and it's not just the picture itself, it's the person, right? So anyways, when I found that picture, I was like, wow, and that is and here's the thing, when I would be at my heaviest, I would never want to take pictures. I didn't mm-hmm. want to take pictures. That's the only picture I can find that is at my heaviest, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so whenever I took that picture, that summer, I went on a diet, a restrictive diet, lost a little bit, gained it all back within the next month, and literally spent September to December, MIA from social media. And I worked on social media. I completely left social media for 4 months. I couldn't be on social media because it was too much. It was too exhausting to be on here, which is crazy because it was the one thing that I absolutely love to do. It was connecting with people and being around people on social media, like people who uplifted. The people I was connecting with were people that they have become lifelong friends. And I disconnected from that because I wasn't at a place where I could be there, and I felt sad that I couldn't be there for them. Anyway, so it was just like this whole downward spiral. Right? And it just, for 4 months, disappeared. And so in January, I had a 2-week break. In January, someone messaged me talking about these 3 steps. I was kind of at a point where I was like, yeah, okay, like as in vitamins and minerals and probiotics and prebiotics are really going to do all that stuff for me, but whatever, I'm going to try it. I'm going to go ahead and buy a month. And I will tell you, to buy that month worth of product was a big thing for me, because I wasn't getting paid for a month because I was switching jobs. And so for about the time that it takes you to have your next paycheck, mm-hmm. there was a time difference between that. And I had been off for 2 weeks and they didn't pay me those 2 weeks. So so I didn't have the funds to actually put into this. And I decided to do it because I was at that point where I was like, if this works, I'm going to be super thankful. And if it doesn't, well, at least I tried it and I know. You know what I mean? That's where I was.
Yeah. Making that one choice to do something for ourselves because we're not happy with where we are makes such the difference long term. And, like you said, when you figure out that you are not there for those that you love, it seems like that's when you're able to make that difference and that change. So I made the sacrifice too. So I'm glad you did.
Yeah, thank you. So then, literally, the first week I started feeling a difference. I was driving to work, and I heard a song on the radio, and I started to sing, which I hadn't done in a really long time. I'm sorry, I'm an emotional cry. So I'm an emotional person, and I cry whenever I remember the feelings, you know. So and it's not because I want, like, it's not because I want you to, like, you know what I mean? It's just because that's how I am, okay? And I'm okay with that. But anyways, I was going to work, and so I heard the song on radio, and I started to sing, and I felt this feeling of like, it was this light bulb. It just kind of clicked, and I started to sing and feel really good. And I was like, what is this? Like, what is this? Because I hadn't had coffee. Just to let you know, I cut out the coffee because I wanted to do it right. You know what I mean? And I wanted to really feel the difference in the product, and I wanted to know if it was really the product that was doing the difference. Because although I'm not like a green personality, I have a lot of green around me, right? So if you don't know what that is, it's like someone who's a researcher, someone who is like data and kind of like wants to know exactly, and is very so. You know, my mom is a pharmacist. My sister is studying to be a doctor. They're very green personalities. They've got lots of that in them. And so it kind of rubs off on me a little bit. So, you know, I was like, well, I really want to know if this is the product itself. So I'm going to cut the caffeine. I'm really going to focus in on this and really give it what it's worth, because I also spent my money on that, right? So I wanted to give it the proper time and really see if this is for me, right? So then as I was driving to work, singing that song, feeling like I wanted to dance again, which, if you don't know a little bit about my background, which I don't share much of, and I should, but anyways, in high school, I was the leader of a dance team, and it was one of the best things. Like, I absolutely loved it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the friendships that were built in high school, and it kind of kept me going through really rough patches as I was growing up, and so. So it was a kind of a time for me to have fun and to connect with people and to be with people that I loved. And so it brought me back to that. So that was a beautiful moment. And then I was singing on my way to work, guys. Like, I was singing on my way to work. That's crazy. You know, like, on my way to a full work day, like, you know, I didn't do that.
Yeah, who does that? Where, you know, it's usually like, oh, I got to get up and I got to go to work, and yeah, it's a drudgery, right?
Well, that's what it was before, for sure. And so, so then I got to work, and I had one of the best days I've had in a really long time. I felt good. I was actually engaging with my students. They would ask me a question. I would be like on my feet. I was like, you know, on it. I was helping them. They were raising their hands. I was by their seats, helping them, then helping the next. And, you know, and I just had it. It was just, it was working. It was, I was on. So that's when I knew. I was like, I need to share this out, even if this is the only thing that I feel with this product, right? That I get from this product. This is totally worth it. And so many people felt like I did before. And to me, it was crazy that I would keep this to myself, right? It was crazy that I would like keep all of that goodness to myself. And I said, I need to share this with the people I love. I need to share this out with people from the world. I need to come back to social media and you know, come back and do something that I love, which was connecting, which was teaching online, which was you know, sharing online and motivating and uplifting others. I needed to do that again. So then I showed up. I started to show up. And through the first 2 months of my journey, I lost 17 pounds. 17 pounds in the first 2 months. Now, you might say, oh, you know, and it's not a magical, like, boom, like weight comes off and all of that stuff. Like it's a progressive thing. So basically you start, right, and you have more energy, you start doing more around the house, you start to clean your dishes and not actually feel bad, and you start to realize that, oh my gosh, I'm sitting on the couch and I don't mind getting up and doing dishes. Instead of watching TV tonight, I want to go do this. Like, you know, instead of like going to bed super early at like 8 o'clock and passing out and then trying to wake up the next day, I actually want to enjoy my night and my time with my fiance. And I want to go, you know what, I want to do the things that I love to do, which was doing live videos and teaching and all of that stuff, like just sharing things that I love to share and being and connecting with people. And so I started doing that again. And then on top of that, I had the energy to go and do physical activity. So, oh my gosh, I started going to spinning and Zumba and doing all of these things and walking outside again, which, like, I'm telling you, it would take me everything to go do that before. And now it's just, you know, it's just crazy. I wake up now to do like 2 workouts in the morning every week, right? I try to do, like, if I can't make it into a class, I do it at home. Like, I figure it out, you know, but it's all about figuring out what works in your schedule now and just making it happen. But if you don't have that energy to get up and do it, how are you supposed to even do it? If you don't have the mental clarity to go ahead and do things that you love, then how are you supposed to do it? And if you don't have the energy to spend with your loved ones on the weekends because you're trying to catch up on the rest or trying to get ready for your week or whatever it may be, you know, like how are you supposed to live a full, happy life, right? Like, so this is what it did for me. And so I went on to losing another 5-6 pounds. I think it was 17, and then I lost another I think it was 8 pounds, and then I'm at 25 pounds off, and I actually kept it off. I kept it off for a year.
So what's the total loss now at this point?
It's 25 pounds, but off.
Wow.
Like, it's not coming back on. And even if, like, you know, we all have this like cycle of, or woman cycle or whatever, but let's say I gain like 2 pounds because we're on, you know, it's the special time of the month or whatever, and then I'll lose it back right away. Like, it doesn't stick on, right? It's just, so anyway, it's like, you know, I'll go through the normal, like, everyday woman stuff, like, right, the woman monthly thing, and then I'll just, like, you know, it'll come back right off, and then I'm ready to go again, you know. So it's just, and of course, like, you know, things in life happen where you can't work out as much or whatever, but I know that I have my 3 steps that I can rely on until I can get back and, you know, get back into my normal routine. When doing a trip like going to Orlando that we had earned, right? You know, in January, that would have cost me a week of being on my bum, like not being able to get up and all of that stuff. It would have cost me that back then. I would have never dreamed of going to a trip like that on a weekend and then being able to get back on my feet on Monday and go and do a full week of work. Are you kidding me? I would have.
Yeah, and you flew out at a crazy time in the morning.
Yeah.
To go back home. Like what, 4 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah. I was up at 4 and I was like, let's go. And I got home. I didn't even go to bed until the end of the night. Got up the next day at 5 a.m., did my morning routine, let's do it. You know what I mean? Like, it was something that would have never been imaginable before, but now it's something that I do. The 2 weekends after that, I went to Quebec City for a weekend to see my cousins. We did like something like crazy, like 7 hours of driving because we got a flat tire. That didn't even bother me. I was like, whatever, like, let's move on. Life is good. You know what I mean?
It is amazing how much, you know, these things happen in life. We have so much more patience and with what's happening. It's like it just kind of rolls off of us, kind of like the water on a duck. And, you know, it's no big deal. It just happens. And there's so much more patience. And being in the classroom, I know that that's such an essential thing with dealing with the kids, and for that fog just to go away and to be able to respond to your students in a faster manner, and just the self-confidence in you just is glowing now. And I love it, Sarah. And to know your journey is incredible. And this nutritional supplement, guys, has changed so many lives. And we would love to share with you more information. Reach out to Sarah, reach out to me, or whoever has brought you in and shared this with you. we would love to help be a part of your journey to making you live at your potential like you were created to do, so that you can be present for in your life and not go back in hibernation like I know I did. And like Sarah said, she even hid from social media. I know my social media was like, oh, I was looking back at some of the stuff and it was so pretty bad. It was sad, right? So now you're out there and you are so brave in the things that you're putting in your social media, really sharing your story. And you truly, truly are an inspiration to so many. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. And guys, it doesn't have to be that cycle that you're going through. It doesn't. Okay, that's not, I thought that's what living was. It's not. There's more to it. For sure. Yeah. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sarah. And you have an incredible, hey, what's the weather up there? Is it snowing today?
There was snow for 2 days and we got so much snow. It was like up to my knees almost. A little bit past that, I think. I don't know. But anyways, it was a lot of snow and now it's sunny. There's like no clouds, but it's cold.
You know me, I have to know what the weather is. Hey, listen, thank you so much for joining me, and I appreciate it. And you guys share this out, because we know that it's going to reach and touch somebody's heart and somebody's life. And that's what we're here for. Y'all have an incredible day.
Yeah. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Sarah. Okay. Bye-bye.